episode of Two Scrippers, One Motherfucking Pole. So let me preface this, right? As you can hear or see, I am outside yet again with the elements. This time I'm sitting next to a river. So let me just paint out how I got here. In my head, first of all, that's where we're going to start. So shout out to Anton Forever. Anton Forever 1, is that? Excuse me, friend. I believe I put it in the description, but shout out to Anton. He made the intro and outro for this. That's my dog. He called me up like, yeah, I'ma just let you know, last week the eating, like I'm listening right now and the niggas overstimulated, like you was eating a lot, right? So I'm cracking up because first of all, this nigga never calls me. So once I saw him calling me, I was like, oh, the world's burning down, what's happening? But he was just giving me some feedback. And so if last week was a lot for you, I'm not sorry, but I am sorry, because when I went back and listened, I really was wilding. I was just everywhere. And then it's like the ADHD in me is why I was eating the way I was eating. So I will try to be more mindful about the sounds that I subject you all to. So I said, you know what? I be coming out by the river and I need to get stuff done. So this just makes sense to do anyway. Let's bring ourselves back from the chaos of last week. But just trying to get to this side of the river, in my head, I really wasn't sure how deep the water was, so I knew I was going to have to wear rain boots. And I also thought it was going to be flatter. I'm sitting on a bed of rocks, and it is slightly uncomfortable. So I almost died trying to cross the river several times. But something that I learned, right, was that instead of going straight across, I had to go down the river and come back and take the longer way. And I think that's also a translation for the things in life. We see the vision and we want to get there as soon as possible, but realistically that may not be possible, or it might just not be the safest way, or we'll get there but we'll have to sacrifice or lose things or put ourselves in harm's way in some ways to get the things that we want. So I thought that was interessante. And then once I got over here, I was like, fuck it, I'm not even going to record, because I sat down and I thought it was flat. It's not flat. I'm sitting sideways, and that's why my laptop is on my lap. As I started to pull out my stuff, I realized that my mic that I use, I left a cord in the house. So I am recording straight to laptop. And then my little headset that I normally have, I tried to pull it out so I could hear, but then I was like, oh yeah, it still has the mic, I could do that. No, I can't, because why the fuck did this shit, the goddamn, oh, that's my regular headphones, the goddamn head thing broke. So clearly it's just not in the cards, but I said, fuck it, I'm gonna do this anyway. And then the other thing I wanted to do was read part of the book that I read last week, because I realized after the fact that I didn't start with the introduction, so some of it that was said in the chapter that I read might not have made as much sense. So I wanted to kind of backtrack and read that introduction. However, your girl left that in the house, so we're just riding on vibes. But what I will read, so I told y'all every morning I get up and I make a tea, I sit in my living room, I journal, and some days I journal with intention and it's my own words, but sometimes it really is just writing the affirmations that I receive. So I have this deck of cards that's talking about how to be a millionaire, and I have my yogi tea quotes, and I have these affirmation cards, and I use the Third Eye app. So this one that I got a couple of days ago from The Secret Mind of a Millionaire, the card says, appreciate what you have. And then on the back, it says, focus on what you're grateful for in life. If you don't appreciate what you have, you won't get any more. because the universe thinks it's not important to you, therefore you don't need it anymore. And then another one, because that's actually not, I'm just realizing, that's not the one that I meant to pull. I posted another one the other day. Let me see if I can find it in my story. I forget what the front says. Oh, that was May 17th. I can actually tell you because I have my journal with, oh, I have the book. Okay. All right. Perfect. So May 17th, it was, decide that you're worthy. If you say that you're worthy, you are. And if you say you're not worthy, you're not. Either way, you'll grow into your story. So today, as of this recording, it is May 21st. That means that you all are, hopefully, if you're listening to it the day that it came out, or if you're watching it, that means that you're either on, where's my calendar at? Did I delete the calendar on his phone? Because sometimes I just be getting rid of apps. Oh, here it is. So you're either listening to it the 23rd or the 25th, or you're a late bloomer and you're listening to this whenever the fuck you feel like it. I respect it. A year ago, yesterday, well, not really the 20th. Well, yes, the 20th. But really, a year ago, 2 days ago, the 19th, I said this on the podcast. Y'all, yesterday was so irritating because men, all men, y'all want to sit here. If you actually know me, people like to joke and call me the president of the Niggas Ain't Shit Association, but y'all really ain't shit. Now, let me preface this and say, because people are like, oh, it takes one to know one. Yes, it does. I'm not shit. I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm some perfect human being, because I'm not. Nobody's perfect. I've said that before. But my thing is, those of you who know me know that I try my best to do right by people. Just take men out of it. I am building relationships is very important to me. People, I think you choose your family. I have so many friends in my life that I just love and I would do anything for, as long as it's within my capacity. So I think that respect is something that is not given. It is something, or it's not something that's automatically given. You have to treat people with respect in order to receive respect, right? And so I'm not out here thinking anybody should just treat me a certain way, but I know that I come to you first a certain way. So my expectation is that if I'm treating you this way, that I should be treated in a similar manner. You know what I'm saying? And I said that because I had an influx of DMs, and when I announced that I was going into sex work, and niggas really be losing their marbles when you say that. And it's on, okay, so I'm on different Instagrams. My work phone, I just have my sex work Instagram. And then on my regular phone, I have my 10 million other Instagrams. So I had kind of wanted to read verbatim, but last year on the 19th, I had posted on my main page that ever since I announced it, y'all done lost y'all damn minds. I'm not having sex with anybody. I'm not interested, and the level of disrespect is just insane. And basically, if you're not going to be respectful, if you don't support what I do, then keep it pushing. And then on the 20th, I was just really fed up because that day it was both men that I thought were really good friends, but then it was also just your typical ain't shit ass nigga that was really getting on my nerves. So the next day I was just real ramped up and heated, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna rip these niggas a new asshole. And so I made an episode about it that I just kind of reposted. So then this year, a year later, I had posted a photo in my story of it was a nude, it was just topless, and I had a censor over it, so all you saw was literally my neckline and up, and then below my titties and down, but I was completely dressed. I just literally kind of pulled my shirt down and had that over it, and I had a link to loyal fans. So one guy was like, oh, show me your areolas. And I said, I do show them behind a paywall. And he decided to call himself a trick. Oh, don't treat me like a trick. And I said, if you want to see titties or anything else, you got to pay for it. Otherwise, keep your commentary to yourself and be respectful. And he said, fair enough. Cool. I thought that was the end of that. Then I saw that the nigga unfollowed me. If you gonna unfollow me, baby, remove me as a follower too, because I'm not following nobody for free. Then there was another dude that was like, oh, you're so crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, oh, what did I do? Because I am crazy. This is living proof that I'm crazy. And he's like, oh, I went all up and down that site. Okay, what are you telling me that for? Did you make an account and subscribe? Did you buy anything? Nah, why would I do that? We already fucked. I've seen everything. Keep in mind, and I debated whether or not like sharing this part, but I'm not ashamed of anything that I've done. I've learned from it. And I think even just going back, I talk about this a lot, going back and watching old episodes, not knowing some things, but seeing how time has passed and some of those things have been affirmed, or how some of those things have changed. And sometimes it can be a little cringy to watch, but it's like whenever I'm recording, that's how I feel in the moment. And that's how I look at things. And that sentiment doesn't change. Maybe like views on certain things change, but the sentiment doesn't. My character doesn't. And this particular guy, I've talked about him in many ways in several different episodes, but the gist of it is like, me and this nigga ain't had no type of relations since before the pandemic. And when he resurfaced, I told him, like, I'm not interested in any kind of sex. If you want to actually be friends, we could be friends. Like, you're cool when we talk. We can hang out. We can smoke. We can do that. But it's none of the sexual stuff. And he's like, yeah, cool. We hang out one time, and then immediately he's back to like, yeah, so you think we could fuck again? No. And so then when you say no, and I tell him this, he's like, I tell him that you are an attractive person. You are, from the times that I have hung out with you, you are cool to hang out with. But you be so pressed. If somebody say no, respect the no. Don't just be like, okay, cool, then like down the line, try to convince them. No. So when I said this, that like, you really need to stop being so pressed. If you weren't so pressed, then you'd probably get a lot of the things you want in life. And his response to me was, I'm not being pressed, I'm being direct. How you gonna tell me, like, yes, I understand that you feel you are being direct, and in ways you are being direct, but how you are being direct is pressing. And it becomes a thing where it's like, damn, if I fuck this nigga, I can shut him up. But then, do you ever really shut them up? No, you don't. Because if a nigga want to talk, he gonna talk. Ooh, it's a butterfly. It's a yellow butterfly, and it has really pretty wings. Pretty wings, pretty wings. That was a horrible rendition of that song. I'm not really in my singing bag right now. But anyway, so that same man, it's like, I'll post something. I think Balesa, use code BB Mango 30 for 30% off. Balesa, usually around Mother's Day, they'll post a tweet that's like, if you ever sucked on my titty, tell me Happy Mother's Day. And so he DMs me like, oh, Happy Mother's Day. It's funny. I think it's cute. I giggle. I leave it alone. And maybe that's the part that I need to work on, is just to completely stop entertaining it at all. So when he comes back and he's like, I went all up and through that page, then you try to use the argument of, well, I fucked you. I seen everything. Well, clearly you didn't if you felt the need to go up and down my page. Clearly you still have some kind of interest. So you're not making any sense. Let's be respectful. And this is exhibit A of why. And yes, you may have, baby, sex with me is so amazing, and I promise you wasn't fucking on the same punani. Anyway, and then sometimes I'll like go back and I'm like, I can't believe I said that on the enters of net, because anybody could watch this. But I'm being myself, and I'm sharing my experiences, and this is like the day to day life of me and many other people, because y'all be tuning in, y'all be listening, y'all be watching. So I felt, and it's been, a buildup of a lot of other comments. So I found myself in this place again a year later, not realizing it was a whole year later. I found myself in this place again of just being really upset and angry and just feeling like I need to tell these niggas about themselves and I need to do this. And then when I started to go on my rant, I saw that this exact same thing happened last year. So I was like, well, let me go back and listen and see what I said or what I want to be different this time. And this all happened on my regular page, which originally my page was private. When I started the podcast, I made it unprivate, but I told y'all a couple episodes ago that I realized I accidentally connected my regular page to all my sex work stuff on like Twitter, and Twitter's the wild, wild west, so I don't really want people trying to find me. I know one day it's going to be inevitable. Like, I have a very distinct, look at my hair, y'all. I have a very distinct look. I have a very distinct voice. I have a very distinct personality. So at one point in time, there'll be a time where you can associate all of me, all the different parts of me into one being. So I'm trying to, in the now, limit that as much as possible. So it made me put my page back on private, and I've thought about whether or not down the road I plan on making it unprivate or not, but right now I'm just content. But with that being said, this being my first Instagram, and for many, many, many years my only Instagram, that is what I give people first, out of instinct, out of familiarity, and a lot of people on there have known me for several years, whether that be we went to elementary school, middle school, high school, we worked together at some point, we went to school together at some point, or we just met through friends and it was a vibe, so we decided to follow each other. But that is the page where I am most present. You get to see me for how I really am for the most part, because you can't tell everybody everything. So it's all fun and games and kikiing in my DMs, but the minute that I post something a little spicy, all of a sudden everything else that I do or say or have worked for is irrelevant, and I'm reduced to a pair of titties, ass, or whatever else I'm posting. And the comments just come left field, right field, every fucking where. And when I call people out on it, then I'm the bitch, or you mad at me and you gotta unfollow me, or you need to do this, or. But none of that was. You weren't doing that before. So, what do? I can choose to get mad and continue to try to ripping assholes into people, but at the end of the day, that just gets me worked up. That gets me upset, and then you still gonna have niggas in your DMs acting stupid. So I look and I watch that episode, and I look at where I am now and how many things that I bring that paper with me, because I took notes. As always, you know I'm always taking notes. I think I left it. Damn it, y'all. I think I left it in the house, like the many things that I seem to have left. I brought all these notes, all this shit with me, and it's in the fucking house. But that's okay. So I went on a little mini rant on my page to try to articulate myself better. I don't want to focus on the men and the women who are judgmental and, oh, why are you having sex? I'm not having sex. I'm tired of saying that. I'm tired of repeating myself. And the people that understand it and get it and want to respectfully ask questions and learn maybe for themselves, or to better understand, maybe they have somebody in their life that is similar to me and they're just trying to figure out like how to accept a person. First of all, talk to them, not me, because we're different. But people who respectfully ask questions, I'm more than willing, because I understand I am a complex ass human. We all are, but I know I'm complex as fuck, and I wake up in the morning trying to figure out what the fuck going on, just like the rest of everybody else. So I don't know. I just be doing shit and find out. Like I'm the living definition of fucking around to find out. So in my notes that I don't have, I don't really remember specifically what I wrote, but I thought like in the year, I keep talking about, and I've said this in what episode was that? Oh, it was Escaping the Slave Master Part 2, learning to block. And a year ago is when I was nice about it. Like, yo, don't talk to me this way. We need to, like, that's what I had that conversation about. You're really pressed, relax. And then here we are a year later, and he still don't know how to act. So now I'm like, and I was watching that video, and I think I had said something about like, oh, and I think even in the post, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna block you and keep it pushing. And I didn't, because there were people I was trying to give the benefit of the doubt to, right? But now I'm just like, I'm not tolerating it. I really don't give a shit, because you're not doing anything but contributing to a headache and throwing me off balance. Don't let other people live rent-free in your head. Don't let other people control, well, they can't control your emotions, but don't put yourself in a position to feel like, or be made to feel like, other people control your emotions. Take what you need from that interaction and move forward. And if you feel genuinely disrespected, then detach from that person. What else did I want to say in that regard? But yeah, it's like, I get a shit ton of DMs of niggas trying to flirt with me. Let me be your pole. Let me do this. Oh, you really fuck them niggas. I been fucked you. Let me do this. Da, 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 da. But there's no actual interest in me as a person. There's no taking time to get to know me in all that I do as a pole dancer, as an artist, as a teacher, as a student, as a working therapist, as a podcaster. I have, as a dominatrix, as just all these roles that I play. I'm a multifaceted human being. I'm a phenomenal woman, and I deserve, and at the end of the day, I'm a human being first that is capable of doing all these things. So I deserve to be treated as such, especially because that's how I lead my life. I'm not about to sit here and say I'm perfect, and I'm sure that there's going to be a point in time where somebody calls me out for, oh, she was a bitch and she did this and she did that. And I probably was, especially, like I said before, in my younger days, a bitch was treacherous. I was treacherous. There's some things, even the whole situation with the dude, it's like, the reason why we fucked anyway was because I was on a treacherous path. It wasn't like I really cared to fuck you per se. I just knew I could get it done, and that's what I wanted to do in that moment, right? So practice, this is something that came up and some of the people that commented. So if you commented and now you're here supporting, shout out to you. But somebody had said, so I had said basically like, I'm not interested in actually dating anybody because I have partners, I'm happy with them, things are working out fine, and that's just not, like, that's, even if I didn't, that's just the place where, that's not the place that I'm at right now. I don't care to be that. I have other things. As I just said, all those hats that I roll requires my focus, and relationships also require focus. And 9 times out of 10, when niggas approach me it's because they want to fuck me, and that's not happening. So I'm not even going to entertain you. But if you approach me in a respectful way and you're actually trying to get to know me, and focus on building a friendship first, then maybe your favors will change. But niggas really be horny, broke, and entitled and rude in the DMs and are doing nothing. Why? Like, I be working. I make moves in silence. Hoes might never like me, and I'm fine with it nasty. I'm a real nigga fantasy. I drop dead for a broke nigga, handle me do say. This rich energy. Y'all little hoes still drinking that Hennessy. Okay, I always have to do that. But, train of thought. Oh, yeah, like, I be working. And why would I put my time and energy into someone that is not contributing to my life in any positive way, making my life easier in any kind of way, and they're just being stupid in my messages, along with probably being stupid in 50,000,011 other, I don't know why I always go to 50,000,011, but 50,000,011 other women's or people's Instagrams. And as soon as you put money in the realm of conversation, people, oh, I'm not paying for pussy that I'm not even getting. First of all, who said pussy was on the table? When you think about it in a logical standpoint, if I'm spending time with you, that means I'm taking time away from my work, which means I'm taking time away from my money. So why would I go hang out with you for free when the alternative is I could be on the phone or doing something with someone that's going to pay for it and actually just wants to be in my company? And that's not to say everything in this life is about money. It goes back to contributing. How are you adding to my life? It's not being in competition with other people. It's in competition with me. What are you doing for me that I either can't do for myself or am not doing for myself? Nothing? Oh. Give me a headache? I don't want that. I give myself a headache enough sometimes because a bitch be forgetting to eat or be sleep deprived or whatever else. So another option, instead of hanging out with you, is pouring back into myself. And tributes, I don't know if I mentioned it in that episode, because honestly, I had started watching it and then I started falling asleep, and then I didn't go back to, well, no, I did go back to it, but I think I might have missed a chunk of time. And like I said, I was going in and out of sleep, so, parts of my memory. But a tribute we talk about in the sex work community, and specifically in the financial dominatrix community, is like your sign of appreciation, admiration, and like honor for what a person does. Now, some people, if you're interested in getting into sex work, and I think I said this before, I don't remember. I wanted to go back and watch the mini-sode with Mayday, So You're Thinking About Sex Worker. The title was something like that. And people had asked questions, and I might have addressed it there. If not, I've definitely addressed it in one of the episodes where I was talking about tribute. But if you're interested in being a financial dominatrix or a cash master, that is what men are. Like, it's not all just a women thing, or if you identify as them. There are ways to be a financial dominant. What it comes down to, if you're interested in sex work or anything, you really have to know yourself and be willing to uphold yourself, because lots of people will try to tear you down and discredit you and make you feel less than. So if you're in a place where you have like low self-esteem or whatever, what I will say is it definitely, for me, I can speak to my experience, I can speak to some of the people that I know, is that like sex work has helped us embrace ourselves, and especially the parts of ourselves that maybe we weren't always too crazy about or we didn't like. I love myself. I love every single facet of myself, and I make sure that the people around me also love me too. It's not no half-assed this, no. Like, if you're around me, there's mutual love and care and adoration. So where was I going with that? if you're thinking about sex work, make sure that you either have already started inner healing work, or you are prepared to do that, because it can be rough, and you really have to set boundaries for yourself. And leaves is falling. You have to set boundaries for yourself, and you have to set boundaries for other people too. I kind of journaled about this morning. You want to do what makes sense and feels right and makes you happy. There's so many different ways to enter sex work, that if you don't want to be nude, you do not have to. Like, you set your rules. And if somebody's like, in the instance, show me your areolas, I don't mind showing my tits, because my tits look great, okay? They look amazing. I have great tits. So I don't mind showing it, but I'm not going to go, and I'm not, personally, I'm not. If you want to see areolas, go to Twitter. It's plenty of areolas on that timeline. And it was like here and there I might have beforehand posted it, but I just moved that to behind my paywalls, partially because I just really got tired of some of the giving shit for free, but also because as I'm continuing to go on this journey, just really trying to clean up my digital track record, especially in this time of where I need to be safer. Do your research too. I think, like, when I first started this, I didn't have a complete understanding of the world, in the greater world and in the context of the sex work world. So I definitely would have changed a lot of things of what I might have said or how I dipped my toes in. But we're here now and we learn. And again, I'm not ashamed of anything that I have said or done, and I'm not out here doing wild shit either. So if you find a sex worker that you like, support them respectfully. Or if you see one that's like, you want to see my titties, but I'm not showing you titties, it's plenty that are. There's plenty that's showing that and more. And that's not a shot to anybody. Do you get your bag? If that works for you, that works for you. And I love that for you, because hopefully, we're all consenting adults within the space. And you do what makes you feel happy. And how you portray yourself, if that's making you happy, that's making you happy. I'm not above or below anybody on this world at all. It's other shit that we gotta worry about. Niggas is getting blown up. Niggas like need to eat. Niggas don't have homes. Like, there's real shit going on. So the last thing I'm worried about is somebody putting a pussy on the internet, or somebody putting a pussy behind a paywall. So back to the financial domination thing. You really have to put up boundaries for other people, and how something that I've learned is there are people out there that will do it, and then there are people out there that maybe they don't know yet that they do it, and you have to teach them. Like, you have to teach people, and this goes outside of financial domination, you have to teach people how to treat you. And at some point you have to realize that some people just aren't worth it, and you move on. Or some people are worth it, and they just need like clear guidelines. So I would say, if you're going into this work, do the inner work. Why do you want to do this? What do you hope to get out of it? And how do you expect to be received? And make sure that you set that up. And so I mean that in terms of, like, I'm thinking now that I'm on actual websites to do in-person sessions. I first started out, I had a nice little bio that I had similar, just like all the things that I'm interested in. And motherfuckers was texting me left and right, calling me left and right. And I'm just like, y'all don't have no fucking decorum. Y'all don't know. But they don't know, because some people tell them to call them here. Like, all you see is, oh, she looks cool. She looks interesting. I want to do a session with her. I want her foot in my mouth. Let me call her and see if she's available. But I have to set those boundaries. You can only, like, first of all, don't be calling me. You either text me or you email me. Then it was, okay, I had a lot of people reaching out, but then it wouldn't go anywhere, because then they were turned off about the application process. So also being willing to pivot in ways that make sense. So the reason why I have an application is to vet, is this person safe? What do they actually want to do? Can I offer that to them, or do I know somebody who might be a better fit for them? What other ways are they potentially looking to serve me and be of service? So how can I still do that vetting information without that form? So I had to seek help and say, like, yo, is there something I'm doing wrong? And it's just like, no, it doesn't work for that platform. These people are usually, this platform was originally, and I'm talking about Trice, whatever. I still haven't figured it out. And nobody that I talk to seems to know. But that platform was originally for escorts, not necessarily BDSM providers. So a lot of people are looking for same-day services, or looking for this, or looking for that. So having to pivot and like to have to go this extra step. I found you on this website. Now I'm texting you. Now you're telling me to fill out this. That's a lot to do. And some people, if they really want to do it, they'll do it. Cool. But those same questions that I'm doing on the application, is it necessary? But something that I definitely will not, something that I definitely will not waver on is a tribute. And my initial tribute is $50. And that means that just makes me notice you. That makes me see that you're interested. It may not necessarily mean I'll talk to you. So don't be like, oh, I want her to talk to me. Let me send her $50. No, but it definitely does make you better than a nigga in my DMs that's just talking my ear off or heart eyeing everything. And if you don't got $50, times is hard. I know it's not about the money, but if you like my smile, send me $10. You like my hair, y'all? It costs $26. You can reimburse that, okay? Like, if you like sending tribute to, if you have a financial dominant, it's the DS relationship. They serve each other. I like to think of it as symbiotic. Both parties are receiving something. And as the dominant, you are looking after the submissive, and as the submissive, you are looking to take care of your dominant and fulfill spaces that they need help with. And you want to keep your dominant happy, because when you have a happy dominant, that makes for a happy sub too, because you're helping take care of me and I can help take care of you. Like, it's a tit for tat, right? And maybe not everybody's like, maybe you're like, I don't want to consider myself a sub. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Think of it as support. Ooh, y'all, my belly. I'm so mad. Mother Nature came yesterday. I was pissed. Tribute. It's so many different ways. Like, I make art. You could send me an Amazon gift card or a Michael's gift card for $10, $15, $30 if you don't have $50. Or maybe you just want to see me smile in the morning. So you send me $10 and I can go get breakfast. Like, you could pay for my breakfast. You could do this. You could do that. You like my eyebrows? That cost $8. This is the first time I got my eyebrows done in like a year, y'all. It's been rough. And not because like I couldn't afford it, but I mean, I looked good without it, and it wasn't something that I felt was a necessity in that moment. But recently I was like, I knew I'm dyeing my hair. I knew I was going to pop outside, so let me like get it together. And now especially, that's the thing with dyed hair, you got to stay on top of it. So part of me is like, bitch, why the fuck you do that? But I've received a lot of compliments, and it's just like, oh, this is you. This fits. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I love it. So yeah. How else can you tribute? Well, I already said ways that you could tribute. Ways that you could support is like, there's a thing as retweet subs, or I guess maybe reshare subs, repost subs. I don't know, on Instagram. I don't think there's really, I don't really think that that's like a name. But all I'm saying is, what are you doing for me that is going to help me advance, besides just trying to be in my realm? Because some people just want to be in your realm and experience you to be able to be like, I did, or in hopes that whatever you're doing is going to rub off on them. And that's not always a bad thing, because you do, I think something that I've been taught is to remain teachable. and you remain teachable by exposing yourself to other people and taking in what they have to say, or learning from their mistakes as well. You don't always have to learn from your own mistakes. You can surround yourself with people that may not have done the best things. And like I said, be safe, make good choices. Like, there's a lot of things that I probably shouldn't have done that I did, but we're here now and I've learned from them. And many a times those decisions I made might have put me in a really rocky spot. So it's amazing that I'm living and breathing and here to even say half the things, crazy ass things that I be saying to y'all. But I'm here and I'm saying it and I'm doing it. So you don't always have to surround yourself. You want to surround yourself with people of all different accolades, or placements in life, journeys in life. I don't really know, but I hope y'all get the point. It really comes down to the person's character and their motivation. Okay, they're surrounded by a bunch of people who seem to be successful, but what are they doing with that for themselves? Or are they just here because they want to be like, yeah, I'm in the clubs, I'm at the party, I'm at this event, I met this person, off the back of you? Think about that. So what else do I want to say? I don't know. I really had notes, and I left them in the house. So it is what it is. Oh, let me read this first chapter. But I will do that right after the commercial. Oh, May is masturbation month, and I've been so busy masturbating, I haven't gotten the chance to make ads. So use the link in the description and use code BBMango30 at Balesa checkout to save 30% off your next nut and masturbate with me all month long. And while you're at it, head on over to Patreon and join one of the tiers so you can experience behind the scenes poll play, toy talk, where I talk about all these lovely toys, and tales of a sensual fendom. Y'all know it gets crazy. Back to the show. Oh, fuck. And we're back. So, the first introduction is that jumped in real quick. Okay. So the introduction, and then I was like, I read slow, so I didn't realize that I was talking for like 10 minutes, but it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7 pages, y'all. The other one, I think it might have been 10. So the note do I want to read the note? I'll read the note and the introduction. Okay. So, books are infinite in number, and time is short. Therefore, the secret of knowledge is to take what is essential, take that and try to live it up. And that is a quote by Swami Vivekananda. Send corrections, stories, topics, questions, all that shit. The two scribbles, one poll at gmail.com. So, note from the publisher on 1 hour of wisdom. Inspiration is a wonderful gift to give ourselves each day, to nurture our spirit, to be reminded of the power of life flowing through us, to be inspired to manage our power with greater awareness. Most of us spend more time taking care of material possessions than we spend taking care of our spirit. In a world where so many things require our attention, the larger purpose of our lives can be forgotten. This book captures the essence of the author's wisdom and shares a wealth of information in less time than it takes to prepare ourselves a meal. Words and ideas can heal the mind and nurture the soul. Words are alive with energy. They have the power to uplift. Ooh, y'all, I think a bug just flew up my nose. God damn it. Words are alive with energy. They have the power to uplift, to enliven, to transform. Feel the energy of the words in these pages as you read them. Intend for the gift of their wisdom to be received. Life is a force flowing through us. Where we direct our attention is where our life force flows. Every moment is an opportunity to direct our attention to ideas that inspire us. Every day brings the promise of a new beginning and the opportunity to transform every life challenge into a gift. 1 hour, one idea, one act of love can make all the difference. There's an art to living with joy and a science to managing all forms of energy, including our own. Learning to manage the force of life flowing through us is a worthy endeavor and one that brings many rewards. May this book help you to see yourself with greater clarity. May its wisdom help you to express all the power of your spirit and to fulfill your most cherished desires. Perhaps you will read this book in less than an hour, but if you read it again and again, the essence of its wisdom will linger for a lifetime. So that was the note. And again, this book is Deepak Chopra, The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, a pocket guide book to fulfilling your dreams, 1 hour of wisdom. And it's in the description. I don't think I put it in last week's episode, even though I think I said I was going to, but y'all know sometimes I be saying I'm going to do things and I don't. Oh, the other thing, let me just sidebar before I read the introduction. So last week's episode was originally titled, This Nigga Got Roots, Words of Wisdom. And that was because I knew that I was going to talk about the cash dog commandments, because that bitch motherfucking ate, okay? And I just keep watching it. I saw the video, cash dog fucking ate, okay? And it just really hit home, because niggas be tripping. Don't leave yourself ass out. And it's not even, as I always say, it's not all, my experience. Everything I say on this podcast is from my experience. And my experience with men, as many other people have had, has just been trash, because they really don't know how to act. And I'm always learning. So that's why sometimes it's cringy to go back and watch episodes, because I was going based off of what I knew at the time, and to see even if a couple of weeks or a couple months pass, all that has changed. And it's, oh, how did that paper get over there? I can't beat myself up with it, because in the time I was moving with what I knew, and I knew I had pure intentions in that moment. Can you see that? I don't know if y'all can see that man in the background. I don't know what he doing, if he fly fishing or something. Oh yeah, y'all can kind of see him. Anyway, lost my train. Oh, so I was gonna read this book. What the fuck is that? See, I actually should be inside. I need to wrap this shit up, because I don't know what that was, but it looked like it got legs. It's slithering. Oh, that's a water snake, and it's fat. Oh, I gotta go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up. Wow, I'm like fascinated and really grossed out, because also now I have to cross the river again. And I wore my little rain boots. I want like some knee-high ones so I could make some water content, but I wore some rain boots, and the water started getting in the boots, so I had to roll my pants up, and so I gotta cross the river with that. Ooh, child, Lord. Ooh. Train of thought. So I was going to read the book, talk about cash dolls. So initially, I was just going to title it Words of Wisdom. But the way I title it's sunbathing. That's actually kind of cute. The way that I title my episodes are based off of just a quote that I said that I thought was funny. So then when I listened to it the first time, I thought it was hilarious that I had did the way I had said this nigga got roots about my plant. And I thought that it was still fitting, because talking about rooting yourself and be connecting with nature. So I liked this nigga got roots, words of wisdom. And then after Anton hit me up talking about chill out on the eating, I went back and listened, and the way I was like, these eggs cold as hell, but I was still fucking them eggs up. Oh my God, it was delicious. I thought that was funny. So I was like, damn, that would have been the appropriate title. So I went back and forth between picking a title, and then I think what I ended on doing was just naming them all three. But anyway, that was my sidebar. Back to this, the introduction. The ancient sages described the most effortless way to bond with the universe and fulfill our desires. Their guiding motto turns out to be exquisitely simple: act in accord with the laws of nature. And that is a quote by Deepak Chopra. Introduction. This book is titled The Seven Spiritual Laws of Success, but it is also to be called The Seven Spiritual Laws of Life, because these are the same principles that nature uses to create everything in material existence. Everything we can see, hear, smell, taste, or touch. When this knowledge is incorporated in our consciousness, it gives us the ability to create unlimited wealth with effortless ease and to experience success in every endeavor. Success in life can be defined as the continued expansion of happiness and the progressive realization of worthy goals. There are many aspects to success. Material wealth is only one of them. Moreover, success is a journey, not a destination. Material abundance in all of its expressions happen to make the journey more enjoyable, but success also includes good health, energy and enthusiasm for life, fulfilling relationships, creative freedom, and a sense of well-being. Success is the ability to fulfill our desires with effortless ease. And yet success, including the creation of wealth, has always been considered to be a process that requires hard work. And it is often considered to be at the expense of others. We need a more spiritual approach to success and to affluence, which is the abundant flow of all good things to us. In spiritual terms, success is measured by how efficiently, how effortlessly we co-create with the universe. Hard work, struggle, and frustration are the opposite of what the ancient sages taught us. They knew that spirit lies in the source of all achievement in life. They also began at the source, and they defined the source of pure potentiality, which is purely unmanifest consciousness. The beauty of beginning at the source is that power resides there. The power of our inner being, the power of our spirit. In every seed lies the promise of a forest. Unseen energy flows into material manifestations. The physical laws of the universe are actually the process by which the unmanifest, unknown, and invisible are transformed into the manifest, known, and visible. Our most cherished desires are pure consciousness, seeking expression from the unmanifest to the manifest. And if we give our deeper instincts a chance, success in life is not only possible, but inevitable. With the knowledge and practice of the seven spiritual laws, we align with nature's intelligence, and our dreams and desires are easily fulfilled when we understand these laws and apply them in our lives. Anything we want can be created. So then just to recap, last week I read the law of potentiality, and I'm not going to reread that. You can go back to last week. But I realized after I read that first that I probably should have read the introduction, because I felt like it would have flowed better. But to experience this like connection, you got to go outside. Take time each day to be silent and just be. So we'll take some time right now. I'm staring at this snake, y'all. Like, he really chilling, but it is a little terrifying. And now I'm really paranoid. And anyway, breathe. Let's breathe. I don't know if y'all can hear me, because I don't got the mic up on my face, but like, breathe in and breathe out for a couple seconds. So take that time to be silent, and maybe you're not outside, maybe you're in the car driving, or you're in the house, and so you're listening to my audio, but take the time on your own to listen to your own audio, because like I said last week, the silence isn't really silence, and we need to turn off our inner thoughts so that we can connect with outside and realize like the greater potential in the universe, and how like this planet really kind of does run itself, and everything works in harmony. And so how do we contribute to that, and how do we learn from that? Today's a great day to have a great day, and it always gets better. Life ebbs and flows just like nature ebbs and flows. Things are constantly changing and transforming. Energy energy is constantly changing and transforming. And how are you holding and transforming the energy that you interact with? And I think specifically in an example of like, I've talked about how I've gotten to misunderstandings or arguments with people, and I hold that weight, like that a misunderstanding with someone else shows up physically, like that energy that I expend in that then transforms into me, especially if I feel like we're at an impasse and we can't reach an understanding. I internalize that, and I just start feeling really tired, really heavy. My body hurts. Like, I already have all these ailments. I have sciatica on my left side, so my back be hurting all the damn time. Sometimes I get headaches. I just want to go to sleep. That's how negative energy transforms within me. So when like something happens in your life, how does that then translate later in life? How does that come back up? So take that time to be silent, get out of your head, and connect with all the greater things happening around you. Practice non-judgment. Begin each day with the statement, "Today I shall judge nothing that occurs." And throughout the day, remind yourself of that statement each time you catch yourself judging. And I said that last week in regard to judging other people, but don't judge yourself. Experience every day as a new day, because it is a new day, and it's a great day to have a great day. It's a beautiful day to have a beautiful day. No matter what it looks like outside, you have the power to transform what that is. And of course, as I always say, it's always going to be easier said than done. And even me sounding all woke and spiritual and I'm one with nature and probably looking and sounding like a hippie bitch, like I still have my hard days too. But my hard days aren't as hard as they used to be, because I have that connection. And once I'm able to just like cry a little bit, I'm able to pick myself up and reground myself, and not judging myself, because like I've said in this entire episode, I'm working with what I know. I can't beat myself up, I can, but I'm choosing not to. And it's like, now I have this newfound information. How am I going to take that moving forward? Or am I just going to continue to be upset about whatever it is? You have the power to transform that. I know this now. When you know better, you do better. How are you doing that for yourself, for others? And then commune with nature. Silently observe the intelligence within everything. Watch a sunset, listen to the sound of the ocean, or simply smell the scent of a flower. That pluck noise, if you heard it, it was because of ant. Sorry, ant. I know that motherfucker flew. He was crawling on my laptop. So yeah. Is there any other thing before I leave out? Eventually, sometime I'll talk about like chakras, because that's something that I'm trying to get into. Y'all, okay. These spam calls are getting ridiculous, because it's a bird. So I'm sure y'all have heard, especially in the state of Maryland, the commercials on the radio. If you've ever been a victim of sexual abuse in a juvenile detention center, So the spam callers will not stop calling me. They will not. I get 50,000 calls a day, back to motherfucking back. And I don't really know what's going on with the world anymore, because I remember at one point by law, if they put you on something and you said like, put me on a do not call list, they had to do that. But I guess maybe somewhere down the line that got overturned because these motherfuckers won't stop calling me. And I keep saying, like, please put me on a do not call list. Please put me on a do not call list. And they'll either hang up on me or a few of them have said okay. So the other day, this motherfucker, and sometimes depending on the mood, I might entertain it. So they're just like, oh, how are you today? Oh, I'm good. How are you? We were calling because we wanted to know, have you ever been a victim of sexual abuse in a juvenile detention center, da da da. And so the first time I was like, I've never even been to jail. Please put me on the do not call list. Okay, hang up. So this dude, I was like, I've asked y'all several times, can you please put me on the do not call list, please? Because I've definitely cursed some motherfuckers out. Stop fucking calling me! And hang it up. Because you just call at the wrong time. And part of the reason everybody's like, why do you just answer? Because I've had the same number for so long that it really could be anybody. But I also just need to get out of it. If you meant to call me, you'll leave a voicemail. So I'm like, can you please put me on a do not call list, please? This man with all of his chest said, no. I said, oh, okay, so you just gonna keep calling me? He said, yeah. I said, all right, noted, have a great day, and hung up. And I just haven't picked up the phone since. I was like, damn, they really getting bold. That's crazy. That shit was hilarious. So before I leave, it is May 21st. Do I want to read anything from my May journaling? I don't think I already said the one thing that I said. Okay. This is what I'll say. And this is for especially anybody. Oh, he's starting to move. He tired of the sun. So this is perfect timing. Especially for anybody interested in sex work or just going down a new path in life. Because before it was sex work, it was, I knew that teaching wasn't my forever job. I knew that there was more for me in this world. I never imagined that it would look like any of this. But now that I'm here, it makes sense. And all of the things that I said I wanted to do are still possible. And I see them in addition to this. And I would not have gotten there had I not gone the way that I'm going. So what I will leave you all with is this affirmation. I honor my own pace and my own journey, knowing that there is no right or wrong way to move through life. I trust my intuition and listen to my inner wisdom, knowing that it guides me toward my highest good. I am deserving of love and respect, and I treat myself with kindness and compassion. So you got to show up for yourself first before you can expect anybody else to show up for you in the way that you want to be shown up for. You have to show that for yourself. And anything that you want in this life is possible. And if you feel drawn to it, always ask yourself why. Why do you want to go into teaching, or why do you want to quit teaching? Why do you want to pursue entrepreneurship? Why do you want to go to that school over this school? Why do you want to do this? Why? Never stop asking why. What does that mean for you? So maybe you keep coming across sex work stuff, or you've been following along. If you've been here since day one, or even not necessarily day one, because at the day one of this podcast, I wasn't in this realm. I was not. I knew that I left teaching, and I hadn't, when Tori and I first started planning to do this podcast, I didn't have any inkling of, I think I had already seen like Mistress Marley at the event, but in my head I wasn't thinking about it. It was a pin that I had put in the back of my head, but this wasn't part of it. it was, oh, I used to be a stripper. I had an OnlyFans. Tori has gone down this lane. I support people doing whatever the fuck. Where the fuck did that snake go? I support people doing whatever the fuck they want to do. And so it was an advocacy kind of standpoint for me. And now it's still and will always be advocacy. But now I'm actually in it. And I have to learn what this means for myself and what that means for how I interact with others, how I allow other people to interact with me and treat me. And how is this work going to add to what I want to do? So let me get out of here before this fucking snake comes and like eats me, because that bitch was moving. Y'all be safe, make good choices, and if you go outside, stay on high ground.